Due to the cyclone, our itinerary was changed. We left Tahiti on February the 15th and spent the first few days sailing and visiting a couple of islands. Finally, on the 19th, we arrive at Rangiroa, and it's the first opportunity for snorkeling. The ship enters a small sliver of an opening into the atoll, and then we are off to the island to snorkel. From the tender, we get our excursion boat, and about 10 minutes away, we're in the water looking for fish. First up is a school of the spectacular Vlaming's unicorn fish. Also there is the short-nosed unicorn fish. This is the only time I will see either one of these unicorn fish on this entire cruise adventure. Close by, there's a large school of yellow-margined snapper. And then a school of flute-mouth fish. Very interesting. I've seen trumpet fish and coronet fish, but this was my first flute-mouth fish. This was my first encounter with a giant moray eel. Very impressive. My research indicates that they get up to over 8 feet. This one looked like it was, to me anyway, almost 20 feet. Of course it wasn't. Next was my only encounter with a Titan triggerfish. Sadly, my first snorkeling excursion was over, but it was fun. I did enjoy it. Having had a wonderful day, it was time to head back to the ship and later on leave the island headed for our next destination. We anchor in the land of Bali High, and I am soon on an excursion boat to our first stop, which is a location with a lot of black-tipped sharks and stingrays. It was amazing to have so many swimming within inches, but even as close as they came, they posed no danger. They were absolutely beautiful, and there were a lot of them. I even reached out several times and touched the stingrays, and they had velvet smooth exteriors. Amazing. I was able to get a nice shot of the underside of one of the stingrays. Pretty impressive. After about an hour in that location, we progressed over to the other side of the bay and did some snorkeling. The current was pretty strong, really strong, but I did get some nice pictures. I had seen some 3-spot damselfish before, as well as some striated surgeonfish, but this was the first time I had good enough video to identify them. But the best was, in among the anemone was a orange fin anemone fish. How beautiful is that? I took one last look around at this beautiful spot on Earth, and then it was time to head back to the boat. And we passed a few villas along the way. Those do look like a nice place to stay. Back to the ship, and then later we depart, headed for the next island. As we approach RAIATEA, I start my daily ritual of walking the stairs. My goal of 1,000 flights of stairs during the cruise was reached on the next to last day on board. The top 2 flights of stairs were outside. A couple of mornings the outside was blocked off due to the fact that there was excessive wind. However, most days it was beautiful like today. RAIATEA was nice because we actually were able to dock rather than anchor, so the transition to the excursion boat was fairly simple. To get to the place where we're going to snorkel, it was quite a ride, about 35-40 minutes to get over there. We went to the island of Taha. The process here involves a canal. This canal. We walk to the top end, oceanside, and then the rather swift current carries us back to the boat. The guide gives me some fish food, so I feed a couple of awesome fish. And then we're in the water to see what this coral garden has to offer. The current is so swift that I had to slow down the video just so you could see what some of the fish are. This is a particularly interesting fish called a white-banded triggerfish, also known as a Picasso triggerfish. This is a Christmas tree worm. I've seen a number of them. I slowed the video down to 1/4 the speed. You can see how quickly it disappears even at that. All you got to do is get close and bingo, gone. I saw a lot of very beautiful giant clams. What a beautiful school of convict surgeonfish. I actually came down the canal 3 times, and I combined the videos that I got from all 3 times into the one sequence. Time to head back to shore and get ready for tomorrow at Bora Bora. We drop anchor at this beautiful island, and soon I'm headed into the dock where we head out for another snorkeling excursion. On the way out to the snorkeling site, we pass some tiki racing teams, either training or racing. It's pretty interesting to watch. This is our snorkeling guide. He was quite funny and very talented. His name is John, and he made the trip really very enjoyable. Soon I was in the water, and this coral garden was actually the best coral garden of all. I really enjoyed this one. I came across a couple of fish that I had never seen before. Scribbled rabbitfish. Dash dot goatfish. Here's another very interestingly marked fish called a white spotted surgeonfish. Here we have a dot and dash butterfly along with a couple of speckled butterflies, followed by a lined bristletooth. And then, what an intriguing fish, the pennant bannerfish. And then I come up upon John, and this is part of the reason why he's just so much fun. You have to love a guy with a personality like that. My time in this coral garden was over. It's time to get back on board. I'll let John know that he was my favorite guy. Beautiful colors of the water are mesmerizing. I get back to the ship fairly early and spend the afternoon next to the pool with some nice drinks and some good food. Later that evening, I enjoy a beautiful sunset. One more day in Bora Bora. What are the names of the mountains over there? The big ones?
The big one?
Yeah.
Potemanu.
Hotumandu, which means?
It means the bird.
Mountain of the bird.
Yeah.
So you say the name of the island is Forbidden?
It's Tapu, actually.
Tapu?
This name, yeah.
Which means Tapu?
Yeah, that's means Tapu.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And why do they call it Forbidden Island? Or why do they Tapu?
Because the king doesn't allow anybody to go there, so it's Tapu.
Oh,
yeah.
okay. It is generally about 7 meters or 20 feet deep in this area, so my double extension photo pole is critical for getting decent fish video. Right off the bat is a school of convict surgeonfish with a couple of sailfin tang. Next was a brushtail tang and the rather ubiquitous lemon peel angelfish. A raccoon butterfly fish. Pale tail bristletooth. Here are some more sailfin tang. Watch as one of them extends his sailfin. Epaulet squirrelfish. Next up is another giant moray eel who had his wary eye on me. I had to be pretty careful. As I was photographing the moray eel, a most beautiful regal angelfish swam by. Stunning little fish. A couple more teardrop butterfly fish. Another colorful bird Ross, and also a forceps butterfly fish. And you can see how he uses his extended snout to get inside the giant clam. This is a nice video of a vagabond butterfly fish. There were a lot of double-saddled butterfly fish just about every island I went to. Here's a better view of the vermiculated angelfish. It has a very similar appearance to butterfly fish. Here's a threadfin butterfly, and you can clearly see the thread fin coming off the top rear of the dorsal fin. My best guess is these are scissortail sargents, and probably some are pregnant because of their bluish color. And my thought is that just as in the Caribbean, when sargent fish are pregnant, they turn bluish. Another snorkeling adventure complete. Time for a cruise back to the dock, taking in the sights of this incredible island. On the way back to dock, a lovely young female crew member treated us to a traditional island dance. It was quite a stirring and emotional dance for me. I was amazed at how it affected me. I get my morning exercise in as we arrive at the island of Huahine, which is an island I had never heard of before, but what a beautiful island and such a pleasant surprise. Shortly after dropping anchor, I'm at the dock and our outrigger arrives to take us on a new snorkeling adventure. On the way, we pass an outrigger rowing team doing some serious training. Soon I'm in the water and my first encounter is a beautiful white-cheeked surgeonfish. The stunningly blue neon damselfish in all my snorkeling adventures on all the islands, this is my first encounter with the humbug dacillus, which is a cute little fish. It is a type of damselfish. I encountered quite an array of fish in this one spot. Redfin butterfly fish, teardrop butterfly, lemon peel angelfish, lined bristletooth parrotfish. Of all the lemon peel angelfish video that I got, this one was the best of all. The blacktail snapper, an attractive little fish which I had not seen before. Once again, the enigmatic pennant bannerfish. I'm not really sure how they get around, but they seem to do okay. Some more humbug dacillus using the coral for protection. Another nice grouping of fish. Once again, redfin butterfly, humbug dacillus, blue damselfish, pennant bannerfish, and the scissortail sargent. For me, this was the most exquisite giant clam I saw on the entire adventure. As far as giant clams go, this turquoise color is hard to beat. Final snorkeling adventure is done. Time to head back to the ship. That's it. Final excursion on this adventure. And a final sail back to Tahiti.